shit! We got a dog! Hey. What's up, guys? Back at it with another video. Today, you know what it is. Knicks sweep the Spurs. We call that a gentleman sweep around here, you heard? Let's get over with this game, man. I gotta go party, boy. We got the rioting outside. I'm gonna be out there too, throwing fireworks, hitting niggas in the jaw. Ain't that right, sweetie? She gonna be right out there with me. Hey, Brunson, all you that chopped cheese, the Akiway twin. Appreciate you what you did tonight. What's up, guys? Today we're going to be going over how the New York Knicks have won their first NBA championship in over 50 years. A monumental feat. Shout out to everybody involved. Shout out to everybody in the Knicks, from the owners down to the players. Shout out to the Spurs for choking every game. We'll get to that later. But, man, just starting off this game, at the top of the dome, man, this was a brilliant game. The first two quarters were very slow, as neither team felt like they wanted to score. The Spurs couldn't shoot as well as they used to. As we know, the Spurs were shooting 60% in the first quarter for the entire series up until now. They shot, I believe, 40% and 20% from the three in the first quarter, but the Knicks were even worse. Knicks had 13 points in the first quarter. Abysmal. No one can make a shot except for Brunson. No one else seemed to have it tonight. As you saw, OG and Anobi and Cat just sell and just be quiet. It's really remarkable how Brunson kept them in this game, as Karl Anthony Towns had 2 points the entire game, and OG, who had been lights out from this entire series, shot the ball 3 of 11 with 11 points. It's just sensational what Jalen Brunson was able to do in this game, and it really makes me want to get into how Jalen Brunson genuinely could be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Knicks player of all time. But before we get into that, I just want to talk about how, let's get to the losers, right? Let's get to the losers. The Spurs, the San Antonio Spurs, this season was, in my opinion, even though they didn't win a ring, the biggest success you could have possibly had for a team so young and so not used to being in the finals. Even though they got gentlemen swept, the Spurs were up every single game, very competitive games, and with them being so young, it's really terrifying to think of. Imagine them next year. Imagine them in 2 years. Wemby's going to get better. Harper will be better. Castle will be a lot better. All these players will be a lot better. And to just think about it, the beginning of the season, we said about the Spurs, man, they're too young. They're too young. We got to give them some time to develop and mesh and get used to each other. Remember, Dylan Harper's a rookie, so we didn't know how good he would be. Didn't know what he could translate to, as he clearly is translating to. He could possibly be a top 5 guard next year, and that wouldn't be a crazy statement. He has been phenomenal this entire series. He was the Spurs' best player and the second best player in this entire game, in my opinion. De'Aaron Fox has been nothing but terrible and horrible and wretched in this entire finals series. De'Aaron Fox, from my recollection, has had one shot and one good moment, which is when he won them the game, right? Other than that, De'Aaron Fox has been terrible from the scoring perspective, from an assist perspective, from a turnover perspective, and from a shot perspective. The main issue I have with De'Aaron Fox is he's taking too many shots when he isn't making any shots. And it seems to me like it can't be just De'Aaron Fox. No way. He's been in the league for 10 years or so. It feels like to me Mitch Johnson is telling him to shoot this ball because their players are so young. And if that's the case, then that's a whole nother story. But at the same time, De'Aaron Fox is a 30-year-old man. His ass can do what he wants. And I feel like if he's a veteran of this team, then he should be able to dictate what happens on the court, as well as hearing from the coach. I don't want him to be a hardhead, but, you know, you can at least dictate what happens on the court. It feels as if he's not in the play. It seems like he doesn't care. It seems like he's just here to get a $50 million check. Which it is what it is. Dylan Harper, my goodness. He is a rookie. I believe he is my age. I think he's 19 years old. We could check that real quick. I just looked it up. He is 20 years old. He turned 20 in March. Dylan Harper is somehow the best player on the Spurs when they have a 30-year-old veteran point guard. They have the best player in the world, Victor Wembanyama, and he is only 20 years old. Dylan Harper this game, there isn't anything I could say bad about Dylan Harper. I don't want to mention him missing that shot. He should be making that shot. That shouldn't be his assignment. The two players who ghosted this game should be the ones taking that shot. Wemby and De'Aaron Fox, I don't know why Wemby didn't want to touch the ball in the fourth quarter, and Fox wanted to touch the ball by himself. So between those two, it seems like they both have the wrong ideas. It should be the reverse. But nevertheless, Dylan Harper, sensational. 25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Every time he shoots the ball, if he's inside 10 feet from the cup, I think he's going to make it. He has one of the best finishing I've seen in this league this season, and it's not even close. But yeah, I can't say enough about Dylan Harper. He's been sensational this entire final series. In my opinion, he's been their best player this entire series. Consistent, always there, elite defense on the perimeter, not just in the paint. Perimeter matters more. And it's just impressive, man. What a great talent. It's his first season. His ceiling is astronomical. It really is. Even at the end of the third quarter, Dylan Harper had all of the Spurs bench's points. He had 21 points by then. The Spurs had 0 without him at that point. Dylan Harper is giving them the lead, and he's the only one holding it. While Wemby, Ghost, and De'Aaron Fox, good Lord, he needs to go. He needs to be traded, waived, or so, like he's gone. He needs to be traded immediately, by tomorrow, by yesterday. He should have been off this team. $50 million for that is terrible. Take picks in the worst player in the league for something. Just get off his money. He's useless. Goodness gracious. Terrible. Forget Mitch Johnson. Forget De'Aaron Fox. Forget Castle. Forget Kelton. Forget everybody. Victor Wembanyama. Once again, for what seems to be the fourth game, Wemby had one good game this entire finals, in my opinion. And this game, once again, he vanishes. He's Avatar. When you needed him the most, his ass vanished. Wemby in the fourth quarter, mind you, they are up at this point, up the entire fourth quarter until the last 3 minutes. Wemby went 1 of 5 from the field and split 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He played the entire damn quarter. I say all that to say, I'll say this like I said last time. Forget the offense. The defense is what he hangs on to so much. And if I'm not mistaken, the Knicks were getting whatever. Jalen Brunson was doing whatever he wanted in the fourth quarter. We're going to get to him in a minute. He was doing whatever he wanted. Wemby's in the paint, shoot over him. I remember a layup he hit right over Wemby. And Wemby looks gassed. He looks like he's exhausted. And he just looks terrible. He can't hit a shot. He's not playing defense. He's lazy, chucking up threes again. The problem with Wemby, he has been told this entire finals that he is the best player in the world. After they beat Shea, Wemby can't be fucked with. And that's my problem. No one ever wants to discredit somebody or take away something they said because they always want to be right. Victor Wembanyama has been terrible this entire finals, from his lack of aggression, his lack of shot making, his lack of creation. Good Lord, he can't create a shot to save his life. If you pressure Wemby enough, he will just shoot the ball. He has no moves. I've been saying this. He has no go-to moves. He has nothing he can use to take to his advantage. Regardless, like I was saying, Wemby, with all that offensive flaws, whatever, is still the best defender in the league. I didn't see it tonight. Wemby tonight was terrible after the first half. First half, Wemby was sensational. He had 5 blocks. After that, couldn't get a block, couldn't get a steal, couldn't stay in front of somebody. He just looked gassed out there, and he got outplayed. Mike Brown had a fantastic game plan for Wemby, allowing people to be physical with him. Mitch Robinson, Cat, and having so much offense. Genuinely, it's too much for Wemby to handle. Wemby cannot get out on the perimeter. He is only a paint guy. We've known this. If he isn't in the paint, he gets cooked by every guard, every wing that he's guarding, unless they're slow or short. Other than that, Wemby's not stopping these people. So when we have Wemby as the best player in the world, I've been saying it, even when y'all started calling him that, we got to calm down. We got to calm down. The kid's not ready to be best in the world. Maybe in a few years he'll be ready, and that's okay. But for right now, he's not the best in the world. He has nothing to show for it except for a DPOY. That's all he is. He's just defense. And that's just my opinion. Now, let's get into the finals MVP. Jalen Marquise Brunson. Brunson has 34 points with 7 minutes left to go. At this moment, he can't miss a shot. And everybody knows what's coming after this if you've been paying attention to this series. Brunson then gets 38 points, which leads to Knicks to go on an 8-0 run. Brunson then ties the game to then now have 40 points for the night. Brunson finishes this game with him scoring 28 points in the second half. 45 of the 94 points that the New York Knicks scored in this entire game was by one man. Be very mindful. The Knicks were losing in this game by double digits until the fourth quarter once again, as well as the Knicks had 0 bench points until the last 30 seconds of the third quarter. Jalen Brunson just became the first person in Knicks history to score 40 points in the NBA Finals. There isn't words to describe how generational and how unbelievable Jalen Brunson was in this game. Jalen Brunson single-handedly carried the Knicks in a closeout game to avoid going back home in New York, where you lost already and you didn't want to have to risk the chance of it, to be able to do this performance. Jalen Brunson tonight in a closeout game against the San Antonio Spurs, remember the best defense in the league, gave us 45 points while shooting 52% from the field, while shooting 57% from the three-point line, with 15 free throw attempts with 13 free throws made. And Jalen Brunson was nothing but remarkable, sensational, finals MVP, clutching up when it mattered the most. His teammates are selling. If I'm not mistaken, Karl-Anthony Towns had 2 points, correct? Yes, Karl-Anthony Towns had 2 points while shooting 1 of 7 this game. And OG Anunoby, who I had the finals MVP last video, shot 1 of 5 from the 3 and 3 of 11 from the field. Without Jalen Brunson, they lose this game by 40 to 50 points. Jalen Brunson genuinely put on the greatest Knicks performance I've ever seen in my life. Jalen Brunson just played the San Antonio Spurs with everybody on that team being able to play elite defense, and he just embarrassed them all. This game was the legacy cementing. Jalen Brunson, in my opinion, is now the best player in New York Knicks history, bringing them a ring, the Finals MVP, the 45-point closeout game to end a series. Jalen Brunson, without a doubt, has been the best. This was the best performance by a player in the entire playoffs. The Spurs, this is the best player that they have played this entire playoffs. He's way better than Ant. Ant was hurt, so whatever. He played way better than Shea, even though Shea's my guy. Yes, he played way better than Shea. I will say, though, the Knicks have a way better offensive roster than the Thunder, so it's way easier to leave Brunson in single coverage because you have to worry about 4 other people, whereas the Spurs or the Thunder, you don't really have to worry about 4 other people. It's more like 1 or 2. But even so, the fact that Jalen Brunson, while getting hacked, while getting fouled, nearly twisting his ankle with that Wemby thing earlier, and then in the first game getting injured again, being able to fight through that, be the captain of the New York Knicks, and win them this game single-handedly. Nothing more than remarkable. Nothing you could say about Brunson tonight other than he is the best player in this entire series. Finals MVP, well-deserved. Jalen Brunson, you are the king of New York, man. I hope you like your subs in the Augie way, yard. Because from now on, bro, free chopped cheese on us, yard. To put this in perspective, the New York Knicks went on a 16-3 run this year while destroying the East. They destroyed the East. The 3 games that the Knicks have lost were 2 buzzer beaters and then 1 4-point game in the finals. The Knicks almost went 18. The Knicks are 2 buzzer beaters away from going 18-1 in this entire series. The numbers aren't going to look as pretty because the Spurs obviously kept them low scoring and obviously were very close games. But my goodness, for a team to have ran through the East and been called weak or been told that they can't do it, they can't hang with the West, for them to as well be down multiple times every game. Actually, every game they are down by double digits at the end of the third or in the fourth quarter, and for them to have won this game in this series in 5 games while being down by 10 plus points in the fourth quarter of every single game, we just witnessed one of the greatest playoff teams of all time in real time. This team, it may not look like it, legitimately deserves to be put up there with the likes of the Warriors, the likes of the Bulls, the likes of the old Spurs with Tim Duncan, the likes of the older Lakers. They deserve to be at the Celtics. They deserve to be up there with those teams in those playoff runs, in those finals runs that they've had. This team has been nothing but dominant this entire series. Barring 2 game winners, they have lost 1 game, and that was by 4. Generational team. I'm so glad to be wrong about them. I love seeing the talent. I love seeing what these players have and what they deserve to have. Seeing the players tear up as they realize that they have just won the NBA Finals. Seeing how all of them were so locked in that it didn't hit them immediately, but a few minutes afterwards they all started to feel it as if now it's over. Now we can really say, hey, it's over now. Sorry, she almost fell. Like I was saying, man, this is one of the greatest playoff teams we will ever see. And I'm so glad that we got to see it, and I'm so glad that they are real. This is fantastic for the East, for them to have such a strong leader in them being the New York Knicks, man. I'm so proud of Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, Josh Hart, Mitch Robinson, OG Anunoby, man. OG Anunoby has 2 rings now. This one, he can say he actually did something in it. But shout out to them, man. Fantastic game. Well, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and please have a great day. Have a blessed day. Make sure you tell somebody you love them. Make sure that you have a great night's sleep, great night's rest. If you plan on doing anything in your future, whether that be content, whether that be a new job, a new look on life, new college, man, just keep working hard, keep moving towards your dreams, man. It's always crazy until you do it. So if you always have a positive attitude, man, there's nothing you can't do. So as long as you keep working hard and keep being positive about what you want, you can do whatever you want. Conquer this world. Take one step at a time. Be patient, and it'll all come through. Trust. Keep praying. Keep believing. Keep God number one, and it'll all work out. It's as easy as that. With that being said, this has been Dr. Natrell, and you can schedule your next appointment at the front desk.